Okay,
All right. Let's do
welcome
it.
everyone. You might have heard early on when we hopped on here, we are trying to recover from our amazing weekend that we had in Scottsdale with our leaders and achievers. It was incredible. It went way too fast, but it was just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. You've probably seen all the pictures and the reels and just some fun snippets of the weekend. We just had an incredible time with these ladies. We're so proud of them. We're just grateful for all their hard work and their dedication to their businesses. And we would love to see some new faces at future Leaders and Achiever events. So we don't know when that'll be, but we would love to see you there. Okay, so as Katie mentioned, we're going to go through a few announcements and then you're going to hear from some of those ladies tonight. So I will not take too much time here. Just remember that Zaya is offering that double hostess credits. So this is a really easy way to reach out to people that you've talked to in the past that said no to parties, or maybe hostesses that you've had in the past, to just say, hey, Zaya's, surprised us with these double hostess credits, and, explain how it works. And it's a really, really simple way to reach out with that follow-up. So take advantage of that. And then also, obviously, our Punta Cana trip, all those parties that we get help, go towards that. So then, and then another thing they're doing is a 10% off, or the 10% bonus. So the bigger your paycheck, the bigger the bonus, up to $5,000. So if you're wanting to make some extra cash this month, really work hard, and then Zaya's gonna treat you with an extra 10% on top of that. Basecamp, Katie put it in the newsletter today, and then I think she made a post also in the Zion Bio page. We are trying to get a head count for our Basecamp event that we are holding in Central Illinois. So if you live close to here, or even if you're a few hours either direction, you are welcome to come. We just need to know so we can figure out where we're going to have it exactly. And I think that is it for the announcement. So I'm going to turn it over to Katie so she can introduce these amazing women.
Okay, really quick before I do that, I just wanted to mention I'm part of a chat that kind of talks about issues that come up, and then we try to figure it out. So today in this chat, several people's groups on Facebook got an alert that like they couldn't post for 29 days, and I haven't heard anybody on this team having that problem, but one of the possible reasons is because everybody's using the same Make Room Monday graphic, the one that comes in the email. So, this is all depending on like how long you've been a rep, how many groups you have open, all of that. But the main idea here, yours was disabled. Okay. The main idea here is that the more you can make it your own and not just a graphic that everybody's using, the better you'll be. And I know that sucks because it's much faster to just grab it and post it. But if you can just change it and tweak it a little bit, you'll be so much better and safer on Facebook as we sort of work through this kind of nagging issue. We're definitely working on new things that new ideas for parties, and we'll be presenting those as we come up with them. But the number one way to not get locked out is to create your own content. So today, for example, for Make Room Monday, I just did a quick video of me scrolling through the website because that's my own content. You can also go to the website and screenshot because a screenshot is unique content. Yeah, Gina, that sucks. I had that happen too. So anyway, just try to think that way as you're posting in your parties too. Like if you're reusing the same content over and over, you could get flagged, especially if you're taking it from the marketing page. Or Kelsey has those amazing graphics, but if everybody's using them, it's really not benefiting you. So unfortunately, your own content is the better way to go. And I mean, it's inconvenient, but if you put a little more effort into it, you probably won't get locked out. So just wanted to put that in your ear. I don't think it's the name Zaya. Somebody mentioned that to Holly Reed on a call, and she didn't think that was it, and I forget why she said that. But no, I don't think it's the name Zaya. But yeah, don't copy and paste someone else's words. True. So like if there's a party template you've been using over and over and over, you just need to change it. Her rule of thumb was change it 10%. 10% from what it was should be enough to keep you good. Okay? All right, let's move on and talk to some of these ladies. I am going to call first on Caitlin Ivy because I think you might have to go soon. So I'm going to have you on, Caitlin. So Caitlin earned this retreat with the other girls. This is her first one, and we just loved getting to know her. And I asked if she could share a few things, a few takeaways from the event. So Caitlin, you can unmute and take it away. Hi.
Hi, everybody. I am going to keep this pretty short. There were a lot of takeaways, but these are the ones that kind of stood out to me the most. So the first one being that the community of women that make up Zaya is very special. And I don't just mean the people that were at this retreat. I truly believe that it's a group of women who have it's a unique culture. You know, people want you to succeed. It's not a jealousy type situation. And I truly believe this comes from the top down. We have good people who founded this company, and good people attract good people. And I feel like that was reaffirmed to me over the weekend that I'm in the right place. And I can assure you all that we are amongst good people. And if we stay with this, good things will happen. So that was kind of the first thing. The second thing was how much Zaya does for people. And so interesting, though, that it does different things for different people. So just to share what it does for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I had a career as an occupational therapist. I had 3 kids in 3.5 years. My husband and I have had 10 houses in 10 years. All of my kids have been born in different states. So we have moved around a ton. So when I made the decision to become a stay-at-home mom, you know, I needed something. I needed an outlet for myself more than I ever could have imagined. And I didn't even really recognize it until I got further into Zaya and realized how much of a blessing this was in my life. So that was my story. There was a common thread among some of the women that, you know, as stay-at-home moms, it was something that we needed to fill our cups. Other people, it was a financial thing that they needed. You know, it's helped them do things that they would never have been able to do before. Some people have retired from their full-time job, whereas other people, it's like they are able to do extras for their kids, which is amazing. Other people share that, you know, it's about the confidence that the clothes give them, and they love sharing that with other people. And so I'm like getting goosebumps right now talking about it, because it's this business that brings so much to people, and it gives them things that they don't even know that they needed. And so that was a huge takeaway from me, and something that as I move forward is going to help me to be bold in sharing this opportunity, because you just never know what somebody is lacking, and that you could be that gift to somebody by sharing this with them. So that's number 2. Number 3, this is probably my biggest takeaway for me personally, and maybe you guys will resonate with this as well. So going into this, obviously I felt very honored to be there with some of the top leaders in our company. And so you put these leaders on this pedestal that they don't have the same issues that you do. They don't have the challenges as far as mindset and negative thoughts about themselves. You think that they're past that. And we kind of, we learn that they aren't, that they all have struggles that they go through from time to time in their business. But it's what they choose to do to work past that to continue to succeed. So that was huge for me, because, you know, you see them so high up in the company, and you think like, oh, they don't deal with these same issues. So it kind of gave me that confidence that I'm not alone in how I'm feeling from time to time. And then it just affirmed to me that I just need to continue to work through it, and that I have other people that I can reach out to who have felt the same things, and that may be able to help you move forward.
Yay, I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You are such an advocate for women and moms, and I loved seeing you come out of your shell a little bit. And I definitely felt, Caitlin, during this weekend that you had like some breakthroughs, and
I definitely felt that way, for
that
sure.
was
I
so
told
fun.
Charmaine that it was kind of what I needed for, like, I really needed this trip for myself to see myself in a little bit of a different light.
That makes me so happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to hear next from Lindsay because she also has to go soon, I think. And Lindsay, I'm going to try to find you. You can unmute and I'm going to pin you. Lindsay, this was also her first time at this event, and it, along with Caitlin, although I think it was harder actually for Lindsay and her group than for Caitlin. I forgot you guys were kind of coming a little bit different. But it was such a mess getting these girls there. If you guys followed any of their stories, they drove through a snowstorm and they ended up being late, and their windshield cracked from ice that fell off of a semi, and it was just it was really hard to get there. And I think that these girls, and Lindsay too, weren't sure that they would get there, but they did, and I think they were really glad that they were able to be there. So Lindsay, you can have the floor.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Just a couple of takeaways. I'm a planner and I planned nothing for this, so I'm sorry if my words are not super eloquent at all. Today's been a wild day catching up at work, but just off the top of my head, some things that stuck out to me on this trip, this being my first trip. There was no really, for me, any really one moment or one sentence somebody said, or like no profound, I guess, moment at the trip that made it special. It was more the whole time you're surrounded by these super accomplished, inspiring women. You just learn things just by having regular conversations with them. What I realized very quickly was that these guys are real people. Like, I thought I was going to be around you see all these beautiful faces and somewhat intimidating girls in these groups, because the girls that go on these trips are amazing. They accomplish great things, and you talk to them and they're real people. They have struggles. They feel a lot of the things that you feel like it's only you feeling or you having trouble with. And it's just really reassuring to know that these people that things seem just absolute perfection when you see them on in these groups, that they share a lot of commonalities with you too. In addition to that, we were also different. So we had a lot of similarities, but we were all so different. Like, we've got stay-at-home moms, we've got girls that are working full-time, all walks of life, all different interests. And we all found a way to get on this trip, and we're all pretty much rocking this business right now. So what really stood out to me in that, I guess my point in that is, anybody can do this if you put in the work and try and find your niche and find your people. Because it was crazy how different we all were and how we're all making it work in our own way. So I think that's something that I really want new reps to realize, or people to realize when they're recruiting, is you don't have to be like the person that, you don't have to be like any of us that were on this trip even to be successful in this business. You just have to be you, and you have to find your people, and you can be successful in this business. But I think that's really all I've got in the short amount of time. I don't want to take up, the rest of everybody's time. I'm sure the other girls have got wonderful things to say, but it really is. It's the community. It's realizing that everybody can do this with a little work and in finding what works for you.
I love it. And we just loved having you there. And I hope, Lindsay, that you felt like, you're talking about these girls that you see and you show up a certain way, and we feel just as inspired by you guys. I mean, I think we talked about it during the retreat. Like, this is, you have kids. I know I hear them in the background, a full-time job, and like, it is not easy to fit this in. But I think what we found during the retreat in some of our conversations is that it's worth it to fit it in, because it's something for us. And as women, we need something for ourselves. So I hope that you felt that this weekend.
Did.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh,
All
wow.
right. Oh, hi. Your mommy did such a good job. Hi.
I'll mute us.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we see you guys. We see you being moms and being all the things to all the people in your lives, and it is not easy, and that's really why we need this. Okay, Kimberly, you can unmute. Kimberly was the person at the retreat who earned the retreat in the shortest amount of time, I believe. I think she signed up like August 27th, and
October.
I'm sorry, that's what I was thinking in my head. October 27th, and the qualification started October 1st. So she essentially earned it in 2 months. And she just joined. So I'm so excited to have her share her takeaways. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Okay. Hopefully someday I'll get to share, or as you guys get to know me better, team, you'll learn a little bit more about my story. It's a long story, but it's a good story. So I have a lot of personal takeaways. Number one being, these trips are really fun. I was in a previous network marketing company. I love trips. I love to earn things. If you dangle something in front of my face, I'm going to get it. Total Enneagram 7. I have all the FOMO. So the thing about these trips is, like, while they are so fun to be at, and like Punta Cana is going to be amazing and it's going to be a big party and it's going to be awesome, you need to get to these things to get surrounded, because network marketing, while we talk so much about the community and how it's incredible, it is lonely because a lot of us do it alone at home. I am a stay-at-home mom of 2 children that are in elementary school. And so, not even, oh my gosh, I have a middle schooler now. And I have a lot of time by myself. And so while I like to build a local team and try to connect with local women, like, this can be very lonely. And so to get yourself surrounded by women who are driven and who know that they deserve more and that they're worth more and that they're capable of more is really empowering, because you don't feel alone on this island. Like, is this real? Can I really do this? Like, is this what women are doing these days? When you get surrounded, you realize that, yes, there are powerhouse women out there that are crushing this, and that something I love to learn when I meet women who are in, the community that we are in, is that nobody is more qualified than you are. I tell myself that all the time. Like, Rachel is my upline, and I'm like, well, what does Rachel have that I don't have that makes her successful? And I'm like, she's a mom. She went to college. She was an athlete. Her husband has a great job. And I think about all of these things that Rachel has. And I'm like, the only thing she has in this business that I don't have yet is time. There's nothing that she's no better, than I am. And Katie and Monica are incredible, and they've been here longer and they've given time, but like, that doesn't mean that they're smarter or working any harder. Like, if you're willing to put in the same time and effort, you can get there too. I loved, Katie, what you said during our presentation. If God puts a desire on your heart, it's because you are capable of achieving that. And I have been thinking about that all, since we left. So if you have a desire to grow this and make it incredible, like, that means you're capable of the work to do in order to achieve the goals that you have. Another thing is that we're all learning. And we're all in this together. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Like, there's always something new to learn. There's always something changing. Like, social media is changing. Our website's about to change. Like, there's so many things. So like, we're all in this growth together. And I love that there's no like reinventing the wheel, or no, like, I have this information and I'm going to keep it to myself because I want my business to be successful. Like, Zaya wants us to be successful. The Bradleys want us to be successful. Our leaders want us to be successful. And if you continue to share that within your team atmosphere, that like, you're going to give all of the information to your team that they need in order to succeed, then that is what creates growth, is knowing that nobody's alone and nobody's like hoarding success information. You know what I mean? Like we all want everybody to do as well as we want to do. And the last thing I'll share is being human is the most attractive thing you can do when you are in network marketing. Sure, we all love to look at Instagram and see beautifully curated Instagram feeds, and it's nice to see everybody's filters of white and whatever, but then we start to do that like comparison thing, and we're like, oh, my life doesn't look like that, and my kitchen doesn't look like that, and how do they keep their kids' floors picked up, and all of these things. And the most valuable thing that you can do as a Zaya rep is to show up as a real human, because it is the most duplicatable thing that you can do. And it's also the most relatable thing that you can do. And people are attracted not only to something that they can also do, but they're attracted to somebody that they can have a genuine connection and relationship with. So don't freak out if your outfit's not perfect that day, or if your background is a little bit messy, or if your kids are screaming in your video. Like, there's going to be so many more people watching you saying, she's just like me, than people watching you saying like, oh my gosh, I wish that my kitchen was sparkling clean like that. So that's all I have to say.
So good. So many truth bombs. Thank you so much for being there. And it was great getting to know you. That was really helpful. Thank you. Okay. And last but not least, Charmaine. And Charmaine, this was her second Leaders and Achievers retreat. She was there in Chicago as well. And she's going to share a few takeaways. So Charmaine, whenever you're ready, you can unmute.
Hi guys. Can you
Hi.
hear me, Katie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I never use my earphones. So, hi guys. All right, so yeah, this is my second retreat, and yes, it's so good. And get there, because I just have to say, Katie and Monica they spoiled us, they loved on us, they made us feel valued. I mean, that was the biggest thing that you probably saw in a lot of our posts, is just, I mean, we were so loved all all weekend, and they take care of us, and it's just so fun. So like the first thing, I mean, just seeing the stuff today on the girls that were there, like Caitlin, she went live in her stories and talked about her outfit. She doesn't usually do that. Like, they're already implementing and doing the things that we talked about. There's a couple girls that never had Instagram. They created an Instagram account, and we talked a lot about Reels, because Reels is where it's at on Instagram, and so many incredible stuff was already created in just like the last 12 hours. So that just made me smile really big, that you can tell that these girls are just ready to go. They have, they feel energized, and they are getting out of their comfort zone, and they're doing it. They're doing those things already. So I loved seeing that. So congratulations to all you guys that were there, that you're already implementing this stuff. The other thing is, like Lindsay said, that it is very nerve-wracking to go to these things for some ladies. There's a couple girls that just, really expressed like how this was huge for them. Like they're not used to doing these kind of things. And then once they're there, it's just like, they're able to like just let loose and have fun and soak everything in. So I love that, because these retreats are incredible, but they can make people feel super nerve-wracking too some. So I love how people were just jumping out of their comfort zone and doing those things. And then the last thing is, for me, it's the community, it's the relationships, it's the conversations. These trips I live for, because I'm a stay-home mom now, and I worked with Lindsay, and I was able to walk away from my job from Zaya. But I definitely miss people. I'm a huge extrovert, so give me all the people all the time, and I freaking love it. So these trips I want to go back. Like, if we could, I would go back on a plane tomorrow and do the same thing over for even longer. So I love just the relationships and the conversations. It's, for me, it's, staying up till 1 a.m. There was 5 of us that shared a room. We stayed up till 1 a.m, just chit chatting, having fun, laughing. I would say half of the conversations that we had this weekend were not even Zaya. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but it's like, it's life. Like, that's what we're here for. We are all still moms and humans and sisters and daughters. And that's what we are, just coming together And knowing that we just left with 15 more valued friends that we didn't have, it's those Brett, I am talking. And it's those heart-to-heart conversations that you have with these ladies, and just knowing them and their stories and their struggles. That to me is why I love these retreats, and why everybody should always try for any of the trips, the Dominican Republic trips, because it's just how you can see these people outside of just these platforms on social media, and getting to know them and just knowing about them in their life. And that is my absolute favorite, and just the community and the relationships that were formed. I didn't know 7 of the girls. I think I never met them. And now I know all of them on a more basis and comfortable, and just getting to know my own team better. So that is, for me, are my biggest takeaways and why I love these. It's for the relationships, it's the community, it's the conversations, it's the laughter, we talked about some very hilarious stuff that I cannot repeat. And then you talk about those, you have those heart crying tears out of all of us. Like, that to me is the best.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. And it made me think, when you were saying that, if the Dominican isn't on your radar, and if you can't get to base camp with a local team, everyone can go to Summit in September. That is the same environment as what Charmaine's talking about and all the ladies have talked about. It's where you get to know people on a more intimate level, and those connections are just everything. They make this better. They make it more real. Plus, you'll learn about your business. You'll be inspired and motivated, but it's just also an opportunity for a really great girls trip. So those dates are already out. I would start looking at that and making a plan for getting to Summit one way or another. Okay, anybody else? Thanks, Charmaine. Anybody else on the call that was there that didn't speak, that decided that they wanted to? If you do, you can unmute and say something. And if not, Monica, do you have anything you want to add?
No, but hearing these girls just brought back all the feels again. I'm like Charmaine, I would get on that plane again tomorrow and head back there. It was just such a great experience. Loved you guys. Loved every second of it. Well,
Maybe not every.
not every second. There was most of it, yes.
That snowstorm we could have done entirely without.
Yes, that too.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys for sharing. I know it can be intimidating to share on these calls. And hope you guys continue to have a great month. Please get a ticket to base camp locally. If you are local and you want to join us, we've got to finalize that by this weekend. So if you want to come, grab a ticket, and that will help us make plans. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.